Hello and happy Friday. Today is a fun topic. We are talking about assertive, aggressive, and passive behaviors. But before we get started in our notes, you need to go to your goal journal. This is our goal journal. It's on the stream section under where all the assignments are. Today is Friday, so we are filling in Thursday's box. So you're telling me how you did yesterday. We're going to leave Friday blank, so you can put an X through Friday because that's the day we started last week, and so we didn't really do anything for that day. So we're going to leave that one blank, and I want you to grade your progress. So you're going to put a grade in here, A through F, and just tell me why, after looking back, you should have every box filled in except for Friday, which we put an X in. And so looking back at all of your progress through the week, your sentence, how are you doing? Do you have an A because every day you met your goal? Do you have an F because every day you didn't meet your goal? Or maybe you have an F because you haven't even made your goal yet. So how did you do this first week of our goal, of working on our goal and our goal calendar? How'd you do? Okay, you are going to continue working on your goal throughout the weekend. And when we come back in on Monday, you will need to write down how you did for today, how you did for Saturday, and how you did for Sunday. So if you have a computer at home, it might be best to try to log in and write down, so it would be in week 2, how you did Friday, how you did Saturday, and how you did Sunday, so that you don't forget when you come back in on Monday, because you'll have 3 boxes to fill in on Monday. Okay, so do that first, and then get out your notebook. We are starting today, look at the board for the date. Our topic is assertive, aggressive, and passive behaviors, which I said is a really interesting topic. We're going to start with our warm-up. Assertive communication tells others what you need and want in a non-threatening way. You're going to journal, which means write sentences about what you think the difference is between assertive and aggressive communication. Okay. So just writing some sentences in your notebook. Assertive communication, it tells you right up there, it tells other people what you want, what you need in a non-threatening way. So you are standing up for yourself without being threatening. What do you think the difference is between being assertive and being aggressive? So write that down in your notebook. Okay, after you've written that down, you're going to turn your page over, and on the back is where we're writing our notes. All right, writing down the definition of assertive. Telling someone how you feel about what they are doing and asking for what you want in a respectful way. That's what it means to be assertive. Okay, most of us at this point in our lives still have a lot of aggressive communication with other people. They've done something to make you mad, and your first thought is to go crazy on them, to yell at them, to make fun of them, to just be rude to them. And that's the exact opposite of what it means to be assertive. So assertive is being able to tell someone what you're thinking, how you're feeling, what you need or what you want, in a respectful, in a calm way to everyone. Not just to the people that are your friends or your family members, but to everyone. So you're still standing up for yourself. You're getting your point across, but you're doing so in a way that's respectful and kind and calm. So that's the big difference. If you didn't get that down in your journal, you probably should. That's the big difference between assertive and aggressive communication. Okay. Our next definition, next thing under assertive, you're honestly expressing your thoughts, feelings, or opinions without having to hurt or use others. Okay, so when they say without having to hurt or use others, you're not saying, well, I did this because she did that, or I wouldn't have to do this if you didn't do this, this, and this, and this. That's hurtful to someone else. Okay, so you want to be able to get your point across without dragging someone else into the mud, without just completely dismantling someone else or shifting like the uncomfortableness that you feel to someone else. Okay, that's aggressive. So you need to be able to own up to it. You need to be able to apologize or whatever it is, but in a respectful way without being hurtful or mean or rude to somebody else. So that's what assertive means. And this is something that takes a lot of practice, and it takes a lot of being able to use some of our controlling of our emotions that we talked about earlier this week. You know, maybe we're counting to 10, maybe we're walking away, maybe we're taking that minute to think, okay, why am I feeling this way? What's going on? Before we just have that initial reaction to be aggressive towards somebody else. Okay. So, to be assertive, you're going to look the person in the eye. So you're going to be looking right at the person. You're going to explain to them what you need or what you want or what you would like to see happen. You're going to state your feelings honestly. I feel like this because of this reason. So just straight honesty without trying to lie about it or without trying to sugarcoat it or make it seem different than it really is. Your voice needs to be strong and confident. So you can't waver. You can't be looking at the ground or fidgeting. Okay, because people might take that as a sign of weakness, which is the other type of communication, which we'll get to in just a minute. And your body language also has to be assertive. Okay, you have to be facing them, not shying away from them. You have to show that you are ready to have the conversation. So you can't be like looking at the ground or fidgeting or like playing with your hair and looking around. You want to look right at the person. You want to talk directly to them, eyes looking forward, making eye contact with them. Your voice is sound and steady and confident. Okay, you're not yelling, you're not screaming. You are being bold, you are being present, you are being focused. That will take away any hint of that they can come back towards you and be bullying or aggressive towards you. You don't want to come off as passive, which we'll talk about in just a minute, because when people see that they can maybe like chip away at you or maybe really start to hurt your feelings, they will become more aggressive towards you. So you want to just be honest, be bold, be present, looking forward, confident. Those are things that you need to do in order to be assertive. You also are going to use something called I messages. So, and that's the last part of the notes here. Well, not the last, there's lots of notes today, sorry about that. So you're going to use I statements, and we'll talk more about I statements in a minute, but they're basically, you're not shying away from it, you're not putting it on somebody else. You're saying, I feel like this because, okay? So you are saying why you feel like this, when do you feel like this, because of this situation. So you're taking the brunt of it. You're saying, I feel like this. You make me feel uncomfortable. You make me feel upset. You make me feel furious. Okay? So you're owning it. You're saying, this is how I feel about it. And that's the best way about being honest and then you need to use that I statement. That's a really good way to be assertive with what you're saying. All right, aggressive on the other hand. Aggressive communication is a communication style that is pushy, loud, demanding, or threatening. They are hurting others to get, or you're hurting others to get what you want. Okay, so that's what it means to be aggressive. Honestly, the people that are most aggressive are the ones that everyone's like, oh my gosh, look at them, they're going crazy. So you don't want to be that person. That's the person that everyone's like flipping out their videos, like let's just video them because they're about to lose it on someone. Okay, so you don't want to be looked at as a crazy person. People see that and they think less of you. They think you don't have self-control. They think you don't know how to communicate with people without screaming or bullying or just being rude in general. Okay, you don't want other people to think that about you. Not that you want to care all the time what other people think, but it does make an impression and it does alter how people treat you and how people look at you. So you need to make sure that you are sticking up for yourself. No one said not to stick up for yourself, but you can do that. You can stick up for yourself without just screaming and being demanding and loud and rude and hurtful to others. Okay, so there is a big difference between being assertive and being aggressive. You do not need to be aggressive to get the things that you want. On the other hand, then there is passive. And passive communication is basically one that's more quiet and allows sometimes for people to take advantage of you. So passive is a communication style that often lets others take advantage of you because you do not stand up for yourself. Okay, we have a situation to kind of help illustrate this point. And the one that I use all the time when I teach this lesson is one like you're at a restaurant and you order a hamburger and you want the hamburger well done, which means no red meat in the middle, like completely brown hamburger. Okay, the waiter brings you the hamburger and it is like all red and like gross inside, and it is not what you wanted. Okay, the passive person would keep the hamburger and eat it anyway just because they don't want to make a fuss and they don't want to make a scene and whatever. Okay, the assertive person would simply say to the waiter or the waitress, hey, I ordered this well done. Is there any way that you could finish cooking it, or I could get another one that is well done? Just calmly, collectively, I don't like the hamburger this way. I ordered it a specific way. Can you please fix the mistake? Okay. An aggressive person, on the other hand, would probably be pounding on the table and like, I want to talk to the manager, and screaming, and I didn't order a hamburger like this, and what did you do to this thing, and you take it back, and you fix it, and I should get a free meal, and just calling the waiter names like you, blah, 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 and just being loud and demanding and demeaning to the waiter, and basically saying, you can't listen, you're not doing it right, and I deserve all this other stuff because of your mistake. Okay, people are human. They're going to make mistakes, but you don't have to berate them because they made a mistake. You can assertively say, hey, this isn't what I wanted, can you please fix it? But it's not a cause for going crazy on someone. Okay, so that's the difference between the three communication styles. It's passive, aggressive, and assertive. And our goal is to become assertive communicators. I take that back. There's one more type. There's called passive aggressive, which I think a lot of middle schoolers can be very passive aggressive. So passive aggressive is someone who is passive until they've had too much and then they become aggressive. So somebody is at lunch every day. Hey, can I have your Cheetos? Hey, can I have some of your Cheetos? And they're eating your Cheetos every single day. And you kind of start off like, oh, no big deal, no big deal. Yeah, you can have some of my Cheetos. Yeah, you can have some of my Cheetos. And then it starts to bother you. Like, what in the world? This person's taking my Cheetos every single day. And then you never say anything. They just keep taking your Cheetos like no big deal. And then you all of a sudden have lost it. You are like, you just go crazy. So you're passive, passive, passive until boom, you're super aggressive. Or another version of passive aggressive is maybe somebody kind of picks at you every day. They always saying, oh, you're little Miss Goody Two Shoes, or oh, you do everything that the teacher asks. Oh, you're always doing this perfect, Miss Perfect. And you just kind of let it go. You're just ignoring it. And then like at home, you're like plotting your revenge. Like, I'm going to do this to this person. I'm going to get him back like this. That's passive aggressive. Okay. That's you not standing up for yourself assertively and saying, hey, I do not like this. You need to stop. Like, if you want to do like what I'm doing, then start getting your homework done. Start turning your stuff in. Start listening to the teacher. So that's assertive. Being passive aggressive is saying nothing, and then you're talking with your friends like, oh, I'm going to get him back by doing this, this, and this, or I'm going to get her back by this, and wait till you see the post I put on social media about them. Like, that's passive aggressive. You're not directly talking to the person assertively. You're like plotting some crazy revenge story that you're going to do behind your computer screen or where nobody else knows that it's happening. Okay, that's passive aggressive. So that's another communication style that I feel like a lot of middle schoolers have. The goal is to get away from those other communication styles and become more assertive. Okay, iMessages. So your iMessages. iMessages are a way to communicate assertively when you are being pressured, feel angry or disappointed with something another person has said or done. So the way that it works is you're going to say, I feel, and you're going to give the emotion that you feel. I feel angry, I feel upset, I feel mad. Whenever they do whatever they're doing, because, and I want, I need, or I would appreciate if you could do this instead. Okay, so that's a great way to start with assertive communication. And we talked about this when you're giving the I message, you have to have good body posture, you need good eye contact, you need to say the appropriate words. So you can't say, well, I kind of feel like this, or maybe you could do that. No kind ofs, no maybes. I need you to do this. So the appropriate words are huge in this. You can't leave room for interpretation. This is exactly how I feel. This is exactly what I want to happen. And your tone of voice needs to be strong and bold and confident. So those are your I messages. Again, a way to communicate assertively when you are being pressured, feel angry or disappointed with someone, or with something another person has said or done. The way you say those is I feel, when you, because, I want, need, or would appreciate such things. And when you're delivering the I message, you need to have good body posture, eye contact, say the appropriate words, and have a nice tone of voice. Okay, your wrap-up questions for today. Explain assertiveness. Why is being assertive usually the best response to a situation? And then the third one is, why are I messages an effective means of communication? Okay, so I messages obviously are an effective means of communication because you're able to say exactly how you're feeling, you're honest with your feelings, and you're able to do it in a way that allows you to tell someone else, hey, I'm not okay with this. Like, I'm uncomfortable with this. And it's not being rude to them. Okay, so this is an example of that. So your friend has been drinking, but insists that he's okay to drive you home. So your I message would look something like this. I feel, so that's the first one that you're using is I feel, and so you're gonna say how you feel, the emotion. They're saying they feel uncomfortable. I feel uncomfortable getting in the car with you. Then you're going to step 2. When you describe the situation, when you have been drinking. Because, say the action that connects your feelings. Because I'm afraid we might get into an accident. Say what you need. Okay, so that's coming down here. I know you think you're okay to drive, but I don't think you should. I want you to. So that's number 4. What do you want the person to do? Give me your keys and I'll get someone else to get us both home safely. So that is a good way to use the I message. Okay, I know this video is lengthy. There is a quick assignment where you're going to put using the I messages into effect. I've also written out some of the notes just on Google Docs so it's easier for you to copy, or easier for you if you need to do it at home. You don't have to come back and watch the entire video. You can see some of those things on there, and plus it's just a good reminder because this is such an important topic because so many of you are passive aggressive and just straight out aggressive. It's important to be able to learn how to stick up for yourself because on the other hand, there's so many of you that are passive. Let somebody look at your homework every single day just because it'll make it easier for you and for them. So let somebody take your food every single day. Like, no, that does not happen. So too much passive, too much aggressive. We need to find that middle ground. So I really feel like this is an important lesson for you guys. If you have questions, please raise your hand and I will come answer them. This is probably something we'll talk about again later. But get your warm up, get the notes done, and then there's a quick assignment today. Have a good Friday.